Welcome to the Camp Alpha channel. I'm Jawz and today I have something that I'm super hyped about because today is the day that I complete the 75 Hard Challenge. And you might be asking yourself, what is that? The 75 Hard is a challenge that was created and extended by Andy Frisella, the CEO of First Form Supplement Company. It's a mental toughness challenge. It's a challenge that tests our endurance, our self-discipline, our grittiness, our self-confidence, all of these underlining characteristics that we desperately need in any arena of our life to take it to the another level, to reach our maximum potential and to potentially push past the pain. Now, what is the 75 Hard Challenge? What does it entail? Well, for 75 days, you have to complete 5 tasks. And these 5 tasks need to be done every day without exception. That if you mess up on one of these tasks, on one of the days, that you have to start over from day one. It's all or nothing. Even if you're on 75 or 74 or day 73, you mess up, you got to start over. So what are these tasks? You have to read 10 pages a day of a nonfiction book, preferably a leadership, self-help, entrepreneurial type book. You have to drink 1 gallon of water every day. You have to work out 2 times a day for 45 minutes each, and one of those workouts must be outside, rain, sleet, or snow. You have to take a selfie every day, a progress pic, and you have to stick to a diet with no cheating, no cheat meals, no compromise, and no alcohol during the 75 days. I don't drink alcohol, so what I did is I substituted that part with something that I do drink daily, probably multiple times a day, and that's coffee. I did no coffee for 75 days. That's a challenge in itself right there. It's not written down anywhere. It's just something, it's just my thing that I did because I wanted to sort of level out the playing field, because maybe some people, they like to drink liquor and that was the challenge for them. So I wanted to do something that I enjoyed, which was coffee. And I stepped up and I did it for 74 days. Today is day 75 and I'm gonna do it. So with this, I hope to encourage somebody out there that if you're thinking, you know what, I might want to try this challenge, that to do it, to step up and step out, take that chance, because if you never take the chance, you'll never make the change. And there's been a lot of negativity towards this challenge. There's been a lot of positivity towards this challenge. Personally, I don't have nothing negative to say about the challenge, because this challenge, it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with anybody outside of who you are on the inside. That this challenge allows you to look yourself in the mirror and ask that difficult question. Do you got this? And if you look hard enough and dig deep enough, the answer to that question is always, I got this. And so since today is the last day of my 75 Hard, what I want to do is I want to amp it up a bit. I'm going to double up on the tasks, which means that's 4 workouts today, 2 indoor, 2 outdoor, and that's 2 gallons of water, 20 pages of reading. Everything else remains the same. I could take 2 progress pics, but I'm going to do this because this challenge has really benefited my life. I'm able to look back and, yeah, it was challenging. Sometimes I wanted to quit. I wanted to stop. Sometimes it was easy breezy. Sometimes it was, the days just flew by and I'm like, man, where did they go? But at the end of the day, I want to be able to say I gave it my all. I did the challenge. I'm able to get those benefits from putting in the work, and that's what this challenge was about, was being able to do something that I thought was beyond my limits, that I'm able to hit those limits and break those barriers. And I challenge you to do the same. And so today, my last day of the 75 Hard Challenge, I want to bring you along so you can experience this journey with me. Let's go. A wise man once said, you fail to plan, plan to fail. I'm making preparations here.
You could call us bodybuilders, because we're building a body.
There is always someone out there doing more than you. There is always someone out there working harder than you. Just because you don't want to do it doesn't mean you don't do it. Hard work pays off. To have the mentality that you can never do too much. You need to be willing to do whatever it takes.
Yo, we don't pack 4 5s, though we stack 4 5s. Address the sand even like an axe 4-5. And yep, that's for life. I got that patch sewn tight. I would give 110, but that's for time. Like I stated out the gate, remaining in it to win it. Never quitting when we're tired and never stop until we're finished. If it ain't burning, you ain't growing. If you're learning, you know it. To hit it from all sides, that's why I'm so determined to go in. So I could get it off my chest. Plenty sets of many reps. Gotta read between the lines, I'll read in red letter text and get all that you can get while the getting is good. I hit my knees on the wood, I hit the streets in the hood. Hook, book, looking, and yep, switch your bait up. Flesh it out and sweat it out to get your weight up. Cause discipline trumps motivation when you're aiming is gaining. That's a spiritual perspective on training. I won't tap out right now cause I can't give up. If I'm using one supplement, I'm choosing the sun. Blood for the pump to get my weight up. Get your weight up. I'm pressed on all sides, but I ain't crushed. I'm building endurance under the pain, bruh. So give me more, and let me lift it up. This is some protein powder for your sippy cup. Now get it up. Get your weight up.
Was on my champions, let's light it up like propane. No Jesus, no power, no pain, no gain. Straight out of prayer, feeling like 3 scoops of pre-work. This faith walk ain't no cakewalk, but it makes our feet hurt. See, only 5% of people are willing to be extreme, willing to do whatever it takes to chase their dreams. So time to squash the petty and lift up something heavy. New beast mode category, operation, get Yeti, activation, get ready, leave it all on the course and go hard till you collapse like a Napoleon's horse. Yeah, that's what we train for. Strong start, strong finish, kept alpha, go the distance, be a saint, be different, insist to give your best, nothing less than persistent, using time under tension to grow, under resistance. All my bros stay consistent, get gains and get swole. Get your weight up, not your hate up, and accomplish your goals.
I won't tap out right now cause I can't give up. If I'm using one supplement, I'm choosing the sun. Blood for the pump to get my weight up. Get your weight up. I'm pressed on all sides, but I ain't crushed. I'm building endurance under the pain, bruh. So give me more, and let me lift it up. This is some protein powder for your sippy cup. Now get it up.
Now I know what I'm saying is hard. I know this takes a lot of time out of your day, and I know it's a lot of work. The more you put into anything, the more you're gonna get out.
All right, that's workout number 1. Done. Let's see what the rest of this day has in store. All right, so I made these energy bites full of protein. Keep them in the fridge, nice and cold, keep them solid. Perfect. These are perfect for a post-workout meal, snack, get ready for your day. These are definitely good to have and keep on deck. They're full of energy, full of flavor. They're not too light, not too heavy, but they definitely get the job done. Link is in the description for the recipe. Check it out. Let's get these 20 pages in. Okay, so here's the books that I read for the 75 Hard Challenge. I'm going to give you a brief book report on what I've learned and what stood out and the nuggets that I got from each one. The Bait of Satan by John Bevere. This is a great read. It deals with the issues of bitterness and unforgiveness and resentment in our lives. So things happen to all of us. We get lied about. We get done dirty by perhaps someone we loved or someone we trusted or someone who's supposed to be giving us guidance, and they ended up betraying our trust and doing us dirty. So this is a great read if anybody who's going through the struggle, who knows that the struggle is real. And this book is a great portrait and how to deal with those issues. Instead of becoming bitter, that we can become better. The snare and the trap of bitterness, it's something that will it can ruin us for the rest of our life. So this is an excellent read. I recommend that you're able to move past the pain and get beyond the hurt and have not just the superficial healing, but a legit release of that bitterness, a release of that resentment, and the release of that unforgiveness that basically it turns us into terrible people, that we don't have to be defined by our past hurts, that we can move on. So I recommend this book, 75 Hard by Andy Frisella. This book is an obvious choice of a read. I ordered it as soon as I started the 75 Hard challenge. It came while I was reading my first book, but I read it, and this is an easy read. It's good, articulate. Andy Frisella does a great job telling his story and basically prepares us and outlines through these pages the principles that are underlined in the 75 Hard that basically allow us to dig deep and know that the grit isn't going to come easy. The fortitude, it ain't going to come easy. That it isn't cheap, that it's going to cost, it's going to hurt. But you know what? If we get past our limited mentality, that we're going to be able to reach beyond our seeming potential. And this is a great book if you're doing the challenge, if you've done the challenge, or if you're thinking about doing the 75 Hard challenge. I recommend this book. It's going to teach you, all of the ins and the outs of the challenge. And it's an encouraging book. Parental advisory should be on here, though. The Holy Spirit, Are We Flammable or Fireproof by Reinhard Bunke. This is a great book. I recommend it. It's basically a collection of nuggets from his sermons and his messages. Reinhard Bunke was an international evangelist who touched millions of lives. And basically, the premise of this book is he was at a gathering and he was preaching, and the fire of the Holy Spirit was upon the sanctuary and everybody was broken. And he looked out and he seen a couple guys that were just sitting there nonchalant. And that's where he thought to himself, man, these guys must be fireproof. So this is a good read if you want to be encouraged, inspired, and basically reminded that we are never alone, that the Holy Spirit is always with us. That same Holy Spirit that was moving in the upper room for the disciples is the same Holy Spirit that rests upon us. That it's not a different power, a different potential, that it's the same Holy Spirit, and that we don't have to think that we have to do something to attain the Holy Spirit, but no, it always is within us as a believer. So this is a great read on basically Acts 29. That's us, the church right now we're living. So I recommend this book as well. Spiritual Leadership by J. Oswald Sander. This is an essential staple of any believer's library. The timeless classic. A book that deals with the potential of a candidate. That you might have natural leadership, some might have developed leadership, but this is a book that helps us to shape those things into becoming a spiritual leader, that we don't have to rely on the natural, but we could tap into the supernatural. This is a great book if you want to become a more well-rounded leader in any area that you serve in. This is a book that is recommended. Spiritual Leadership, J. Oswald Sanders. God's Armor Bearer, Terry Nance. Now this is basically 2 books in one, volumes 1 and volumes 2, God's Armor Bearer. Actually, one of my absolute favorite books right here. I got this as a young believer. I read it and it helped shape my mentality. Basically, he's dealing with the fact that we can't do this thing alone, that we need others and others need us, So if you want to be a good leader with great followers, that you need to be a great follower of a good leader. The spiritual principle that you reap what you sow. And this has great timeless principles on how to become a servant leader. It's not all about you, but sometimes it's all about what you're willing to sacrifice to see others' potential arise, to see others' success. And so God's Armor Bearer is a definite essential read, and it has workshops in here as well. So it's a good, not just for a individual, but also as a group reading. I highly recommend God's Armor Bearer by Terry Nance. The Celebration of Disciplines by Richard J. Foster. Now this is a book that's powerful because it does something that is unusual, and I thought for the 75 Hard Challenge, this book is definitely fitting. The 75 Hard Challenge, it deals with mental toughness. It deals with tapping into their inner strength, to pressing past the pain. And Celebration of Discipline is just that, but for the spiritual aspects of our lives, dealing with those praying and fasting issues, dealing with those accountability issues, dealing with issues that are they're at first they're tough to deal with, and they're nobody wants to talk about those unpleasant conversations. But this book is a great read. It's inspiring, and not only that, but he talks about a lot of older references. It's not such a modern book, but it's older, so we could learn about our history and those that went before us as well. A great book and a must-have in any library as well. The Master Plan of Evangelism by Robert E. Coleman. Alongside with God's Armor Bearer, this is probably my favorite book here. My youth leader gave it to me when I was young in the Lord, and I read it, and it transformed my life, because the Master's Plan of Evangelism is so simple, because he says that Jesus, he wasn't focused on the masses, but he was focused on the few that would impact the masses. And that's such a profound idea. So many nuggets in here. And you can't have evangelism without discipleship. They go hand in hand. So this is a very, very absolute essential must read and must have for any library. Beyond highly recommended, Robert E. Coleman, The Master Plan of Evangelism. The Purple Cow, Seth Godin. Now, I've heard about this book and I wanted to read it, and I finally did, and I'm glad I did. It deals with being set apart. Is basically saying you might possess something that everybody has, but you might possess something that nobody has, and that is the purple cow. He talks about how he and his family were riding down the street and they seen hundreds and hundreds of cows, and at first they were like, oh, look at the cows, but after miles down the road, no one is even looking at the cows anymore. But if you drive down and seen a purple cow, that even despite all those other cows that you see, you would stop and recognize and realize, hey, this purple cow is different and it is worth my attention. So I recommend this book. It's a great book on how to get motivated to start your business, to grow your company, whatever it is that you're doing. This is a great mentality book. He breaks down a bunch of different ideas and concepts that multiple huge businesses follow and implemented. I definitely recommend this book, The Purple Cow. The Man God Uses by Henry and Tom Blackaby. Now, this is a father and son. This is my last book. Unfortunately, I only got halfway through it during the challenge, but I'm excited to finish reading the rest. The Man God Uses is a great book. It has good principles on how to stay focused and do things right. If you do things the way God instructs us to do, then you're going to be able to experience all of the blessings that come with it. The Man God Uses is a great book on how not to cut corners. And I believe it fits in well with the 75 Hard Challenge, as well as all these other books that basically we have a chance to read these books, and they're all great and have insight on how to do things right. Because there's a saying that says, if you don't have time to do things right the first time, it's funny how there's always going to have time to do things the second time. So do things right the first time and you ain't got to worry about it. Cut corners and try to take a shortcut. You end up prolonging the process and it takes longer in the long run and you don't get nowhere faster. So stick to the process, trust the process. And that is my 75 Hard Challenge book reviews. That's 2. I'm about to get my first outside workout done for the day. It's about 8 o'clock. I'm gonna go for a nice bike ride. Let's do it. So I'm on my bike here. And I don't know. It's sunrise, looking beautiful. Man, look at these moguls. Woo, doggy. I'm getting a little tempted, man. Should I do it? Nah. I ain't about that life. Look at that, though, man. Beautiful jumps, baby. It's cold out here. It's about 34 degrees. Still snow on the ground. The Platte River's not frozen, but it's cold. So I'm back. That was a killer bike ride. About an hour and 15 minutes getting it in. Here's 3 out of 4. All right, starting our second indoor workout of the day. See how it goes. I'm on my 4th 32-ounce bottle. What kind of friend are you when the bell rings, huh? There you have it. An hour on the treadmill. 4 miles. And the first gallon done. Let's keep it moving. All right, now this is a perfect way to replenish some energy and have a delicious meal all at the same time.
Oh my God, I shot my eye out.
Oh, wow. All right, I'm out here on my second outdoor workout today, getting a nice walk through the hood. So the sun is going down. It was a long, hard day. Been grinding on the go. All I have left is to drink this gallon of water. So I'm gonna chug on this for the next few hours. And I'll check back in with you. some calabacitas, and some chili verdes, and a gang of Tabasco. That's dinner. All right, well, it's after dinner, about 6 o'clock, and I got about, what is that? A quarter of a gallon left. My second gallon of the day. It's getting dusted and disgusted. So like I said, I'm almost done with this. It's about, 20 gallons left. I'm gonna try to kill it. There it is. Gallon number 2, dusted. 75 hard challenge, dusted. So there it is, the 75 hard challenge complete. I remember when I first heard of this challenge, when my wife told me that this thing was trending on TikTok, and she explained to me what it was and what people were doing. And I thought, yep, that's for me. And so I encourage you to do something that is gonna take you outside of your comfort zone, that's gonna make you question your limits. And I'm super pumped. I'm about to take a brief pause and then begin phase 1 in about a week. But nonetheless, I'm excited for this process. That's one thing that I strongly believe is the process, the principle of the process. And Ben Newman stresses a very point and eloquently states that you cannot be seduced by success, Meaning you get a little bit of success towards your goal, and then you think that's good enough, and you stop. And most times that's when we blow it. We tend to do our own thing, and we lose all the progress we made because we were content with that little bit of success. But if you get rid of that and focus on your mission and the goal, then you are going to enjoy the pain and the struggle that comes with the process. And only when you endure all that are we able to enjoy the benefits of sticking to the process, staying the course, and continuing to run the race. So the 75 hard is done for me, but, a wise person will learn from others' success, and a wise person will learn from others' mistakes. And I'm not going to celebrate by sabotaging my success. I'm not going to partake in doing those things that they didn't help me get this far, so they're definitely not going to take me farther. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is I'm not going to go and binge on all these things that I know that they're not beneficial for my health and for my well-being. So I encourage you to do the same. Again, I'm going to stress the point, Mr. Ben Newman, do not be seduced by success. Just stay focused, keep your eyes on the prize, and keep it moving. Until next time.
Yes, what we train for. Strong start, strong finish. Kept alpha, go the distance. Be a saint, be different. Insist to give your best, nothing less than persistent. Using time under tension to grow, under resistance. All my bros stay consistent, get gains and get swole. Get your weight up, not your hate up, and accomplish your goals.